What was all that about, Mr. Smith?
Oh, never mind. Best forgotten, eh?
Wishworld, we have a new contender for the worst episode of Doctor Who. I hated this so much.
I feel really let down.
This episode hurt especially because you spend the whole episode trying to survive on vibes and aesthetic of like, oh, look at this Wishworld, look at this Wishworld.
It's like Truman Show.
Well, it's like 3 other Doctor Who episodes.
Yeah.
And then at the end, none of that even matters because the Rani just exposits everything, makes a joke about that it's not just exposition.
So that means it's completely fine.
Because this isn't just exposition, Doctor.
She invalidates the entire start of the episode by making that barely matter because all of it was just in service of another reveal for an even bigger bad.
Well, we all already knew this.
Most of her reveal is, I am the Rani, and we're like, we saw.
They're all asking these questions about a world that used to exist, and I'm here going, yeah, I know that.
And it's not even the mystery of how it came about, because in the stinger, we watch her get the baby that has magic wish powers, and then she uses it to turn people to petals and stuff, because the 7th son of the 7th son, giving birth to a 7th son, turned into the god of wishes, which the Rani then uses those magic wish powers to do whatever she wants.
I think it's rooted in mythology. Terry Pratchett's Discworld, wizards are always the 7th son of a 7th son.
There is the 7th Sorcerer, that movie with Ben Barnes. But most people don't know who the Rani is because she appears for 2 canon stories.
I don't. I just know she's an evil Time Lord.
Well, according to Russell T Davies, she's basically just the Master again because she's obsessed with the Doctor.
She's a bit camp and silly.
She brings down a disco ball to almost sing a pop song. It feels like an earlier draft had a pop song and then he forgot to remove it because, like, the Master dancing around on multiple occasions. She's trying to bring back an even bigger bad. So he's basically redoing End of Time, where the Master is trying to bring back Rassilon and Gallifrey, whereas the Rani is like, oh, I'm going to bring back Gallifrey and Omega. But the Rani is meant to be a scientist, basically. The Rani is a uncaring scientist who just wants to do science shit. She basically doesn't give a crap about the Doctor. Like, the Doctor rocks up in one of her stories and tries to stop her, and she's like, go away, I'm doing science. Like, go away. Whereas the Master has always been a little bit obsessed. But then there's this whole speech of people used to call us lovers. I'm like, who are people? Who are these saying things? And it just makes me so angry that he called this like a jumping on point.
Yeah.
And it's not at all.
This is season 1 officially.
The whole message is like, oh, don't look to the past because like that leads to fascism. Like,
right.
That's probably the kindest viewing I can give of this is like, oh, if you think that the old days were better, like, oh, back in the 50s it was better because I could do this. Like, people say that nowadays, but it's always like hidden fascism. That's what he's trying to go for. But to say that things aren't better in the past, he's bringing back old characters constantly and like unable to come up with any new ideas because he's just doing End of Time again.
Yes.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
The last episode ended with them with an explosion happening in the TARDIS, right?
Yep.
So then we've woken up. It's a world in which Conrad has now shaped it. So it's his right-winged, red pill, white male worldview.
Yep.
And he's reading the Doctor Who book, which looks like the British published version of Harry Potter, which I imagine's a little dig because JK is a
old-timey views.
Yeah, old-timey views, negative views, and just,
Basically, they're using the magic baby that the Rani got 160 years ago to make Wishworld by having Conrad of all people, because Conrad's a bad guy, and he needs to basically just tell stories, and whatever he tells to the child becomes reality, I guess?
Yes, he has a line about how he always has to make sure to say the weather's good everywhere or else.
Which is a weird scene, because, like, Conrad's the bad guy. They've tried to make Conrad unforgiving as possible.
But they've made him the face of all of this. He's a figurehead to this world.
Yeah, so they're making he's like the god of Earth and he's evil, he's a bad guy. But in the one scene we properly get with him, he's like worried that he's not doing a good job and he's like childlike. And he comes across as like innocent, doing what he's told kind of deal, whereas the way he's meant to be portrayed is like, this guy wants to bring back fascism and wants this world to be the 50s, I guess. But like they display him as weirdly innocent and like he's worried that Mrs. Flood is going to be mad at him.
Yes.
And I just don't get why. Like, that just seemed like a confusing portrayal.
Yeah. It's a bit disappointing that Mrs. Flood, who's been set up for 2 seasons, he's now just the assistant to this new Rani.
Well, she's the master's wife who is inevitably going to turn on her because she's already sick of her.
Yeah. And then she has fun being the police officer. So the only reason why she was popping up in all those bits in this season was just keeping track of the Doctor.
As far as we can tell, it seems like Russell didn't know what to do with her.
You just hope it'll generate content.
He just wanted a mysterious mystery box woman as well as his other already mysterious mystery box woman. He just thought it would be interesting.
Because it's just to generate content.
Exactly. And we can turn her into something later when we need to.
Yeah.
Everyone's already suspecting her of being the Rani. Let's just make her the Rani.
Didn't we all say that? Because we all went, well, who hasn't he done then?
Exactly. And then this time it was like, oh, he's probably just going to bring back Omega because that's the only other thing. And no one even knows who Omega is either.
Yeah, I don't know what that... Because when he said, I'm bringing back the inventor of whatever, the first Time Lord, my head went Tecteun from that stupid fucking iPad with a pen scene, whatever it was.
Timeless Child makes it even weirder, but I think they're saying that Omega gave them the title of Time Lord because Omega did kind of invent time travel, but he wasn't like lauded as like the god of time.
Have we met him, seen him in old series?
Yes, he was in the Three Doctors, but he has a cool helmet, so he's memorable. He fucked up an experiment and vanished from like time and space, and no one knows where he went. So he's not like lauded as a god. Everyone's just kind of like, oh wow, yeah, remember that guy?
Right.
So this is very weird that they bothered to do this.
So the Rani wants to bring back Gallifrey.
Yes, because the Master wanted to bring back Gallifrey.
It'd be more interesting now if you just brought back Gallifrey and did nothing about it.
Yeah.
Why are they so scared of Gallifrey?
I think Russell's just obsessed with him being the last of the Time Lords for some reason. Let's get into, I guess, the only good part of the episode, the vibes of the intro, the little 1950s world. You didn't like any of it? It did feel a little bit like the Monk trilogy. We've done a Wish world kind of thing before. It felt like John Smith from The Family of Blood.
Yeah.
The Doctor is trapped in this world of the 50s, let's call it, and Belinda is his wife.
Yes.
And she is very subservient. She's doing her wifely duties.
Because women need to be doing that.
Exactly. And they have their daughter Poppy, which is already a little weird because why the fuck is a space baby here? The only thing that I can think is that at one point maybe Ruby was meant to be the mum, because in Space Babies, the Doctor says, oh, I'm sorry, Poppy, we're not your mum and dad, but I wish we were. So I guess that reverberated.
Doesn't the Doctor yell, Poppy's real? Like, that's the thing he's yelling when he's falling into the pit?
Yes.
Which feels really random when you're like, what?
That makes me worried because if Poppy is real and the Poppy is the Doctor's daughter, then Poppy might be Susan's mum.
Because I'm not a parent yet.
Yes, because in The Legend of Ruby Sunday, he says, I do have a granddaughter, but I don't yet have children. Wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey.
But then he contradicts himself because we've had David Tennant talk about being a parent or something.
It makes no sense within his own writing as well. But that's what I think some kind of bullshit we're going to pull where Poppy is somehow Susan's mum. One weird thing is we don't know how long he's been in this world. I think that's a massive misstep because we get no sense of time. This could be his first day. We don't know when this world started. We don't know how many days it's been. This could be day one for all we know. Whereas at least when we do the Monk trilogy or Family of Blood, there's a sense of time there. Like Martha has been working as a maid for months and months and months. And like she's doing what she can to protect the Doctor, but it sucks and you can see it's worn on her. And the Doctor has real memories because he's been with real other people. He's the only fake person in that world. Whereas then when you go with The Lie of the Land, you see Bill Potts working to like disrupt this conspiracy. Whereas here, this could have been the first wake-up morning. We don't know how much of this memory is real. So when they try to tell me that Poppy is like their real daughter and that they have real feelings, it's like that's all just planted memory. So I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about any of this.
Yeah.
But the vibes are kind of cool. And that's all I can really pull from it.
If you want to grab onto that, sure.
It's all I can.
So basically, what I was thinking of was, oh, fuck. I can't believe you've done this.
His neighbour's Mel, his only neighbour, because then at the end, when everyone's rushing out, it's only Mel. She's the only one rushing out. I suppose that's because there's been lots of doubters and she's the only non-doubter.
The neighbour is Mel because she was willing to come back and we're obsessed with the past.
Susan Triad is also the tea woman because...
For no fucking reason.
Yeah, well... No reason so far, but who knows? Like,
oh God, there's no way he's wrapping up all of this in one episode.
You might want to go, oh, it's hard to judge because the next episode, but it wasn't usually like this in all other finales.
There should still be some kind of build-up. It should still be good. Whereas this, the only scene I did like properly liked, was in unit when the doctor's trying to do his job, and he's talking to Colonel Ibrahim.
Yes.
And he's like, oh, I do kind of like this heteronormative relationship that I have with Kate. And the doctor is like, you should ask her out. You can save her from all this work. That felt at least a little bit more subtle than the rest of the episode. And he's like, oh, she's way out of my league. And the doctor's like, what do you mean? You're a beautiful man. And like the music cuts and he's just like, what do you mean by that? Like, why are you being gay? Gay's not allowed. Very heavy-handed. I don't know, it just felt better. I liked it more. But then the rest of it is like allegory on crack.
Russell's being political.
Wow.
I thought the set was fine here too.
Oh, yes. The actual bone set did look good.
Costume design and general design was well done, you lot. I like the, from like Guillermo del Toro's scrapbook. I quite like them visually. They were interesting. They were
But
cool.
all they were doing was checking on doubt levels because they needed people to doubt. So they needed people to doubt this world.
Yeah.
So they made the world so ridiculous, right? Like, is that what... Doesn't that muddy the message if we're going with, oh, Conrad wants this world, but they're like, no, everyone in this world has constant doubts because it's a stupid world.
Yes.
So isn't that like antithetical to what they're trying to get at, where they're like, oh, people want those good old-fashioned values, but apparently only Conrad does?
It could have been interesting if we had the time and money for it. Like Children of Men, like all these times when he's walking around and he's seeing all the wrong that's going on in that film. Like if he was walking around seeing all this ridiculous stuff and everybody knows it's ridiculous, but if you would all go, it's a bit strange, the people in coats come and pull you away.
Yeah.
So it's like everybody's just walking around pretending that everything's normal.
Yeah, because it's not that they're afraid of the police because Belinda's calling the police. They actually believe because they're being told this rhetoric. And the reason Mrs. Flood got Conrad was because he was so stupid.
Yeah, I was hoping at first that all this was Doctor and Belle were pretending. They knew all this was bollocks.
Right.
So I was hoping that when Doctor was at work, he would be like, no one's looking, beep, beep, beep. Like, but no, he full on is here thinking all this is true. And it annoys me because this is the fucking Doctor. Like, this is someone who is so powerful that the idea that it comes with the fact that there's too many stories about him being awesome.
Yep.
But I just don't think he'd be fooled by this. Like, didn't we also have the Amy Pond episode, the Dream Lord episode was another thing?
Yes.
Where it's all pretend.
And they're all
but they're
constantly
all
breaking out.
dreaming.
That was a really good episode. I love Amy's choice.
Ruby is going something wrong with this world, and she's trying to get to the Doctor, and we get her mum once again being mean to her.
Her mum fucking hates her.
Yeah, it's like, how many times has this happened now with the mum? Like,
I think this is the third time.
Yeah, they bring that actress back to be horrible to her daughter again.
Feels like Russell weirdly hates a lot of things in this episode. It doesn't feel like he's commenting on other people hating them. It's like he has like a personal vendetta against them. Like the whole disabled scene where Ruby is just being casually ableist because it's funny, I guess. You could say that that's because Conrad's world is rubbing off on her and she's like making these comments and then realizing that she's made them.
In Conrad's world, because it's his worldview, disabled people, homeless people aren't part of his worldviews.
Because he doesn't see them.
Because he doesn't see them because the whole you pass by a homeless person.
Yes.
So right now we're meant to be in this alternate world where no one's gay. We are multicultural. He's not super racist.
Yes. He has his limits.
He allows multiculturalism.
And he doesn't hate homeless people. He just doesn't care about them. Because if he hated them, they wouldn't be there.
Exactly.
But we need them in the episode to make a comment so that way he doesn't care. The derelict disabled community where they're all meant to be like poor and downtrodden, it looks clean as hell.
Yeah, they look fine. They look well fed.
It looks completely fine.
Yeah.
Like what they needed was just like dirt on their faces. I don't know. If we're going to play them as downtrodden part of society, make it look like it sucks.
So Conrad still knows wheelchairs exist for wheelchairs to be there.
No, he doesn't think about them at all. So they slip through as artifacts, I guess, along with iPads.
Cool.
Because the Rani also says it would be too hard to sustain the world, so there's mistakes.
It's for the sake of doubting.
But then also doubt is the point, which pisses me off because the doctor's like, you can't do that. And then she says, exactly. So this was all your plan?
The problem when you run in with the homeless people and disabled people and how the world doesn't accommodate for them is that's right now. We sadly do have homeless people. We sadly do have situations where people with disabilities aren't accommodated for.
Yep.
So what's our point? What are we saying? That they're fucked in either world? Like
yes.
What are we saying here?
It's a commentary without really saying anything, I guess.
So what is it like? You think you've got it hard now, wheelchair people, but just imagine how hard you could have it? Because they're here now. No, but they're here now going, like you feel like there's like a better world behind you somewhere.
Yeah.
But that better world is our world. And our world has problems.
Yes. It doesn't feel like a commentary in the way of like they're doing anything interesting with it. It feels like when Glee put Quinn in a wheelchair and they're like, hey, isn't it hard when you're in a wheelchair? And then Quinn's like, it is hard. And then the next episode, she's healed.
Right.
Like, it feels like that level of like, hey, look at this. And then like never actually do anything with it.
I'm trying to think about what happened in the episode for us to actually talk about. But then sadly, that's the problem, is there's nothing really much there.
Because it's all pointless. With Ruby's storyline, she does spend like half of it falling for Conrad's world and then half of it trying to break out. But we don't know why she thinks it's weird, apart from like this innate feeling in the back of her head.
She already feels like she's lived in 2025 because of that weird 73 yards thing.
She's not normal in this world and she's trying to break out. She just has like memories. She has doubts.
Can't you just be, because you've travelled in time, it's harder for you to...
Yes, but also then they say the disabled community also has these doubts and is breaking
Because they're
out
not
of this
being
world.
thought about.
Yes.
Yes.
So Ruby spends the whole time not even really trying to break out, just kind of like thinking about breaking out. And then her and Shirley go on a stealth mission. I couldn't help but laugh when they tried to like stealth across the way. Like that was silly. And
But then they have that joke.
Then,
We're not
yes,
exactly...
then she makes an ableist comment, which is then treated as a ha-ha joke because Shirley says, ableist, are you? And she's like, oh, I didn't mean it like that. I'm like, it is weirdly played for funny ha-has. But then they use an iPad that's just a relic. We just randomly have these relics in this world. And all they do is scan the palace. And then they fall through the planet as everything gets turned to reality. So Ruby's whole story up to this point
leads to nothing.
Was completely pointless. And then we have the Doctor and Belinda. I'm really annoyed at Belinda. Well, I'm sorry. I'm annoyed at the writing of Belinda because I had so much hope for her at the start of the season, and they've done fucking nothing with her because the guest writers didn't know who she was.
That's it.
And then Russell himself seems to be treating her like Ruby half the time, or like a hallway filler. And in this one, she runs into the forest and screams for a second. But then the next time we see her, she's just back at home.
I was here going, why has the Doctor been allowed to live? But then they reveal it. Because the whole episode, everyone's asking questions that we know the answer to.
Yep.
You commit conversations and scenes to something that the audience is like, yeah, it is.
Yep.
So what questions are we asking? And my one is, why is the Doctor alive in this situation? If the one guy who historically has always solved things that you throw at him, why is he allowed to just freely walk around, and why don't you just simply put him down to live, to do your nonsense? And it's revealed that, it's all we want you to doubt. And a Time Lord doubting is the doubt we need.
If ordinary doubt cracks open the world, then a Time Lord's doubt rips open the structure of reality itself.
And we need to wait for this Back to the Future perfect moment for you to doubt the hardest.
And we needed the Vindicator that was the MacGuffin of the whole season. That is now used for a completely different thing that also doesn't make sense, because him using the Vindicator to triangulate Earth and use it as like a tether.
Yeah.
She puts it on a clock, and then that makes the baby's power be 1 billion supernovas strong. And all of this is just explained to us in exposition.
Right.
It pisses me off so much, and it just makes no sense that the Doctor, he doesn't have an arc or anything this episode.
Entire run?
He starts doubting from the get-go in the morning. Like, they're doing the slip thing. The slip's also, I guess, kind of an interesting thing.
Green screen cameo. So he fell into hell in the Bridgerton episode or something?
Somehow got access to FaceTime while in hell, possibly because reality's falling apart, but that hasn't happened yet. That happens later. But they filmed that on the set of Bridgerton. So they knew in advance that he was going to say these things to the Doctor. So Russell had this much written out. And it still makes no sense. Russell had everything planned, and it still makes no fucking sense.
Maybe Russell just had a concept of tables slipping, of cups slipping through tables, and thought, we'll just make that work.
Yeah, considering how little it matters.
If someone starts to doubt, something falls, and it's like, so whatever like doubting was occurring, it'll change the subject. But that's all I could think about.
Yeah.
Or like by doubting or questioning the fabric of the world,
it falls
slightly,
apart.
yeah.
Yeah, it falters.
Yeah, it probably meant something different during the Bridgerton episode. And then when he actually sat down to properly write it, he was like, shit, we've got this.
Yeah, I've got this whole green screen of this table breaking.
With this character that has not made an appearance since.
And then he says, I love you. And RTD is obsessed with them cutting off just before you get out the I love you, like in Parting of the Ways, End of Time, whatever the fuck it was called.
This isn't Rose. This isn't Rose. It isn't River Song.
They knew each other for 10 minutes, maybe. They ran for a second. He spends the whole episode like doubting. Sure.
Right.
He doubts. He's not the Doctor still. He's John Smith, but he's having doubts. In the ending, he doesn't figure anything out. He's told it all by the Rani.
Yeah.
And that turns him back into the Doctor. So it's like his journey was pointless. He did what he was supposed to do. It's literally like as if we all woke up from a dream near the end of the episode. So you had like 30 minutes of an episode, and then a character wakes up, and you're like, oh, that meant nothing?
Yeah.
To the point where the big dinosaurs walking around, it kind of feels like they're like, oh, get it? The world is ruled by dinosaurs, like old-timey values. Do you get it? But in the preview for next week, Unit shoots lasers at them. So it kind of just feels like they were there for a big action set piece more than anything. Or because in that one Matt Smith episode where reality falls apart and Winston Churchill is like in the future with all the other stuff, they had mammoths in that episode.
Right.
And like, I guess Russell liked that because he's just done the same thing where it's like anachronistic stuff. So now we have a pointless episode for the Doctor and a pointless episode for Ruby. And then we also have a pointless episode for Belinda, apart from the funny moment where she calls the cops on her husband for being gay.
I was because she was doubting.
That as well, but it's because he has the line,
Yes.
I saw a man on the TV and I think I liked him. And she's like, hello, police.
Yeah.
I was like, no.
Yeah, it's odd, to say the least.
I don't think we're going to see Omega next episode.
Right.
Because that Omega dialogue you hear, how he like shouts out, people don't even know who he fucking is.
No, I don't know who he is.
You hear a voice shout out. That audio is a Big Finish audio drama, so they didn't even get new audio recorded for Omega. So I don't think Omega's coming back. I think Omega's going to be treated like Gallifrey and Rassilon. Oh, you kind of see him like in the door a little bit and you're like, oh no, Gallifrey's coming. And then they fix it before the end.
Yeah.
Omega here is going to be treated as too big of a threat that they can't let him through. Like there'll be some kind of veil and they can't let him through. So all of this is going to be for nothing as well. And we're just going to have the exact same story.
But then getting her home is just because all this happened. He couldn't get her to May 24th because...
Yeah, so the get her home doesn't matter. And also she forgot about the get her home like 90% of her trip here. Also, the flashbacks are back. Like everything gets a flashback. Last season we had people watching previous seasons on an iPad to like give us a refresher on Sutekh. This one, the Rani just says, I'm the Rani, and then we show flashbacks of Kate Mara.
And then he remembers he's the Doctor.
And then
again.
we get the Doctor flashbacks in the order that we as the audience have seen them. So the fugitive Doctor's near the end are like, okay, fuck off. And also we don't see any timeless children.
But also we don't even see Richard E. Grant, who showed up in the...
Yeah, we don't see Dream of Shaka.
Sarah walked in at one point, looked at the Rani and said, God, that's an awful outfit, and walked off. I know she's meant to be camp, whatever. I don't like the performance. I don't like the choice of it. I think also she hasn't got much to work with, so no worries at all.
Well, she's the Master 2.0.
Yeah, so it's just... Yeah, I'm here going, oh, Missy was fucking sick, wasn't she?
Another thing I've just remembered, in End of Time, Part 2, the Doctor's mum appears for a second.
Yes. Well, we assume it's his mom.
Yeah,
right?
but like a woman with like white behind her, like vaguely appearing. And this we have Susan appears on the TV again, like vaguely. So it's just him, he's just repeating himself and it's insane.
It is. I don't think he realises he's doing it.
When she does her little scooter ride by,
yeah.
You didn't need to do that. You know your VFX budget can't handle it.
Is the Rani known to ride on something like that? Oh. My thing is always, in storytelling, it's not my thing, it's everyone's thing it should be, is characters. I need to go, what's going to happen to Belinda? What's going to happen to Ruby? What's going to happen to the Doctor? Do not give a shit.
Especially when they're not even their own characters for the whole start of the episode.
I don't care about these people at all.
Yeah. Well, the interesting thing in Family of Blood is that John Smith is like living this life that he seems relatively happy with.
He's his own person.
And Martha is trying to like bring him back because we know Martha. Martha is Martha. Whereas in this, none of the characters are the characters we know or like. And Ruby is like half occasionally, but also I don't care about Ruby at all.
It's all really bad. If you like it and you want to tell us we shouldn't just watch it because we hate... Oh, you're not going to put that in.
I don't care on this one. No, you're wrong. This sucked.
Yeah, it did suck. I'm sorry.
The start,
it
again,
sucks.
I'll stand by the start, I think survived a bit on vibes and like, oh, what are they going to do with this? But then looking back on it by the end of it, you're like, oh, they're going to do nothing with it. So it doesn't matter.
I've been racking my brain for the last 5 minutes going, there has to be other things that we can talk about that feel like interesting, but There isn't. We do nothing for 80% of this episode, and then we get a little thing at the end where, see you next week.
It's weirdly short at 45 minutes. Next week, I think, might be an hour or an hour and 5. But again, still nowhere near enough time.
In season 3, because we've had 2 seasons of not having a Time Lord, how cool it was that he gets to talk with a Time Lord, and how there's this whole relationship between him and the Doctor.
Well, it's because he didn't know he wasn't the Doctor when he met the Rani. He wasn't the Doctor until he was falling.
And that's not dramatic for this John Smith at all. Like, it's not like he's sacrificing something.
Yeah, he doesn't even know who Conrad is. Conrad has like a heroic, like, what do you think of me now, Doctor? And the Doctor's like, who are you? Why are you calling me the Doctor?
Yeah.
Like,
The only thing I've liked about this season was the poster with him in his outfit, which he hasn't been in this season, except for the start. I think he was wearing it in that poster with the coat flat back, looking at a curve of something. That has been more awe-inspiring and Doctor Who-y than any of this season. Like, it actually makes me go, oh, when I see that. Like, it's the sense of adventure that Doctor Who is. They have not done that this season. I know we've been doing a few fourth wall breaking things throughout this run,
which have not been explained and never will.
So when she goes, so this isn't just an exposition dump, it's a reveal, or she says something. Basically, it's our least favourite thing. It's a giant lampshade, or we think we're being funny. Like, I just today randomly watched Incredibles, and after watching that, the whole, you sly dog, you got me monologuing again.
Yeah.
That's a good way to do it. But to have it be this.
Yeah, a literal exposition dump just to say it's not.
Creatively, respectfully, fuck off.
It
like,
sucked.
you know,
I didn't hear what she said it actually was because I was too busy sighing.
Yeah, maybe the Doctor could just stay alive for someone else to come along and make it even good again. But holy shit, I would not be watching this if it wasn't for us doing this.
I'm sitting here agreeing with Christopher Eccleston.
Sack Russell T Davies, sack Jane Tranter, sack Phil Collinson, sack Julie Gardner, and I'll come back.
Sack them all.
Sack them all.
Like, Jesus Christ, they suck. He's creatively bankrupt.
It's a fascinating watch, and it'll be a fascinating discussion in the future.
Like, everyone's talking about Ncuti leaving this season, and it would not shock me at all, especially even if he's not leaving because he wants to leave. Like, even if it's not like he hated it, he's out. The fact that they haven't even talked about starting to film the next season, he's got other shit to do.
Do you think they pitched it to him as this? Who will have 2 epic seasons, everyone will love Doctor Who and you go away.
Unsure if it was like that he will leave, but yes, it was definitely pitched as 2 seasons because that's what Disney greenlit. I don't know why we gave 6 episodes of budget to a spin-off where you need to build entirely new stuff, but whatever, that's not what we're talking about. But there's no way they're wrapping up all this and also regenerating the Doctor in the next episode.
So you think he's going to... Like, he's still going to be at the end of this episode, the next episode, right? Because they would be teasing a regeneration.
Well, they did by explaining it to Belinda. I would not be shocked at all. It'll be open-ended.
Oh, you think it just ends with him bursting into gold and we'll see what happens?
Probably. It definitely feels like a great irony that the whole point of the episode is don't look back in time, don't wish for the good old days when all I wish for is good Doctor Who. But what did you think? Where do you rate this among the 3 worst episodes of this season? Is it Legend of Ruby Sunday, Empire of Death, or this one? And do you think he's going to wrap up at these million weird plot lines by the end?